voice any concerns they may have. This move comes after widespread criticism of the existing Prevention of Terrorism Act that allowed for indefinite detention of individuals without charges. With this new legislation, the Sri Lankan government is taking a significant step towards reforming its counter-terrorism measures. The current Prevention of Terrorism Act dates back to 1979 and has been criticized for long for its draconian provisions. The minister said the new Anti-Terrorism Act has been carefully crafted to align with international standards while ensuring that there is no compromise on national security. The public will have a one-week window to scrutinize the law after its first reading in Parliament. Any concerns can be raised, providing an essential avenue for citizen engagement in shaping the legislation. The proposed act introduces several key safeguards and procedural requirements to protect the rights of individuals detained under suspicion of terror acts. Individuals can be detained and interrogated for a maximum period of 60 days without prior approvals from a magistrate. However, they must be held in authorized detention centers. After arrest, individuals must be brought before a magistrate within 48 hours. Extended detentions beyond 1 year must receive approval from a magistrate, adding an additional layer of judicial oversight. Individuals arrested under this new law will have the opportunity to seek bail after 1 year of detention, providing them with the legal recourse to challenge their continued detention. This legislative development follows the tragic Easter terror attacks carried out by an Islamist extremist group on churches and hotels in Sri Lanka in 2019 that claimed 270 lives. Let's now turn our attention to Libya, that has been reeling under the recent devastating floods. The news from Libya keeps getting worse. According to new estimates, the death toll of the devastating floods could touch 20,000. The flood disaster has left a trail of destruction and despair in the country, especially the eastern port city of Derna, which seems to have been wiped out. Torrential downpours breached 2 dams, inundating the city and causing widespread devastation. The aftermath of the deluge has led to at least 6,000 confirmed fatalities, with an alarming count of over 10,000 people missing, feared to have been swept out to sea or buried beneath the debris. Morgues are overflowing, hospitals are incapacitated, and the urgency to treat survivors is mounting by the hour. The mayor of Derna has said between 18 to 20,000 people may have died in the flooding. Once home to more than 100,000 people, Derna is now grappling with the aftermath of this catastrophic event, with more than 30,000 residents having been displaced from their homes. The United Nations International Organization for Migration in Libya has reported that significant damage to infrastructure in the region is hindering access for humanitarian groups. The search and rescue operation is ongoing, with emergency teams working tirelessly to locate survivors and retrieve bodies. The destruction caused by the catastrophic storm Daniel has further complicated the mission by obstructing roads and impeding communication efforts. Frustration and anxiety are mounting among families both within and outside Libya, as they've been anxiously awaiting news of their missing loved ones. For Libya, it's as much a race against time to bury its dead as it is to find survivors. Our next story is a bizarre one, really, from Mexico, but it has been grabbing a lot of global attention. Here's why. In an unprecedented move, scientists and lawmakers in Mexico convened this week a session to discuss the possibility of extraterrestrial existence. However, the discussions took a bizarre turn when alleged extraterrestrial artifacts were presented. Supposed aliens landed in Mexico's Congress. But no, there were no saucer-shaped UFOs hovering over the historic building, nor the bright green invaders seen in Hollywood movies. Instead, Mexican journalist Jose Mozan presented 2 boxes containing mummies found in Peru, which he claimed to be non-human beings, not part of our terrestrial evolution. The shriveled bodies with shrunken, warped heads left the audience shocked and sparked a social media frenzy instantly. The journalist said, "This is the queen of all evidence. If the DNA is showing us that they are non-human beings and there is nothing that looks like this in our world, we should take it as such." However, Mozan cautioned against labeling them as extraterrestrials. Now, these desiccated bodies were found in Peru in 2017, deep underground in the Nazca Desert, known for its enigmatic figures. And while these pictures and statements made in the Mexico Congress have caused a flutter in the online world, many scientists are now questioning these claims. Julieta Fierro, a researcher at the Institute of Astronomy at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, has expressed her doubts. She pointed out that many details about the figures made no sense and that more advanced technology is needed to verify their origins. She said the researchers' claims that her university endorsed their supposed discovery were absolutely false, and added that scientists would need more advanced technology than the X-rays they claimed to use to determine if the allegedly calcified bodies were indeed non-human. The scientist added that it seems strange that they extracted what would surely be a treasure of the nation from Peru without so much as inviting the Peruvian ambassador. Meanwhile, Congressman Sergio Guterres Luna has said the Mexican Congress hasn't taken any position on this issue, but there is a need for a transparent dialogue on the issue of extraterrestrials, and we should listen to all voices and opinions, he said. Now, let's widen the lens and see how this fits into the broader context of the discourse on extraterrestrial beings. In the United States, retired Major David Grush recently alleged that the U.S. government conceals a program related to unidentified flying objects. His testimony before a House Oversight Subcommittee reignited interest in UFOs that are now actually known as unidentified aerial phenomena. The Pentagon, however, denied Grush's claims, adding to the ongoing debate about the existence of extraterrestrial life and the nature of these unidentified aerial phenomena. Even as the recent presentation of alleged artifacts in the Mexico Congress has stirred controversy and skepticism, the question of extraterrestrial life continues to captivate the world's attention.
I have always been a great believer in modern science and serious, robust evidence. I think it's honestly a joke that these kind of shows are held in Congress where discussion should be based on science and seriousness. It seems to me that first and foremost, this is the People's Parliament, and the important thing is that all voices are heard. It is interesting that he is a person who has sustained this narrative throughout his life, who has dedicated himself to presenting evidence.
Is anyone out there? Will we ever know the answer to that question? All right, as we wrap up Global Lens tonight, we have a story for you on an important Indo-German collaboration. India is well placed to be a hydrogen partner to decarbonizing economies. That's what German-based Fraunhofer Society has said in what may be seen as the latest endorsement of India's green energy mission. Dr. Christopher Hebling of Germany's Fraunhofer Society says in line with its ambitious renewable energy targets, India could produce surplus green hydrogen for export to countries aiming for decarbonization. He was speaking at an event in Bengaluru to discuss India's potential and challenges in developing a hydrogen economy and its collaboration with Fraunhofer Society on the Hydrogen Valley project. Now, a hydrogen valley is defined as a geographical area where hydrogen serves more than one end sector or application in mobility, industry and energy. According to Dr. Hebling, India can leverage its vast renewable energy potential to produce green hydrogen through electrolysis and develop a robust ecosystem for hydrogen power transportation, including hydrogen fuel cell vehicles and hydrogen refueling stations. This can help to increase the air quality in densely populated cities and decrease dependence on fossil fuel. Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles offer long range and fast refueling, making them suitable for heavy-duty trucks, buses and other vehicles that require a longer range than current battery technology allows. Dr. Hebling added, given its ambitious renewable energy targets, India could produce excess green hydrogen for export to countries looking to decarbonize their industries, transport and energy sectors. And building the necessary infrastructure for hydrogen export will be key. Europe, Korea and Japan, being renewable resource deficient, are likely to be the key markets for green hydrogen, but trade barriers are a worry, he said. Now, according to him, cost is a key obstacle, with green hydrogen being more expensive than fossil fuels, but the potential is enormous.
Fraunhofer Institute has been leaders in research, and today's conference is concentrating on the circular economy. And I think India, by nature, can be leaders in circular economy. And Karnataka is going to lead this way by coming up with India's first circular economy lab, and we're also coming up with a solid recycling policy for electronic junk, recycling and reusing electronic products within the government. So I think today's white papers that have been released, there are a lot of learnings for the state government from it, and we'll work together closely to come up with a center of excellence for circular economy.
Fraunhofer has been in India for the last 15 years. So although we are a 75-year-old organization in the world, headquartered out of Germany, but with an extremely global footprint, our activities in India in the last 15 years has been to create an innovation ecosystem with excellent partners from research and industry. We have more than, I think about 100 projects in India in the last several years, and we have earned more than 50 million euros. In fact, last year, Reliance, one of the largest companies in India, bought out 25 million euros into a company that we had, spin-off on thin cells. So our partnership and commitment to India has been very deep. In this edition, what we are doing here today is to look at circular economy, which is an extremely important topic for the universe today.
In the context of our global situation with a number of crises, especially with climate change, I think it is extremely important for India and Germany to work together and to address those challenges. And Fraunhofer, as an organization for applied research, can provide solutions, and we are very happy to working together with the colleagues and the companies here in India.
Well, that brings us to the end of this edition of Global Lens. If you have been, thanks so much for watching. Do join us again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.
Gautam Adani, one of the richest men in the world, or a business honcho, accused of manipulating the market.
अदानी जी 609 नंबर से दूसरे नंबर तक कैसे पहुंचे? सिर्फ एक सवाल पूछा।